Okay. Very good. That you're going to hear me talk about anxiety then. I have a confession to make. I am a highly anxious person. Why is that funny? I am. If you have ever been on the worship leadership team on Christmas Eve, you will know all I talk about is barfing. I get so nervous, I'm going to barf. That's all I say. If you've been a hymn leader, if you've been especially assisting minister or the poor acolytes, I stand in the choir room and getting my stuff on, adjusting the microphone, and I go, oh, Lord, please don't let me barf. Please don't let me barf. I get really super nervous. Really super nervous. As a matter of fact, most Saturday nights, I don't sleep well because I am nervous about all the moving parts about Sunday morning. Like literally, should I toss the mandarins or not? Is my microphone gonna work? Did I remember to tell Sienna I'm using a second camera this week? What made me think that I could sing in the choir? Listen carefully, I'm mostly lip syncing. I can get the timing down, but I can't hit the note. You know, part of rehearsal was we're not coming in at the same time at the right place. You know why? You know why we're not? It takes me a couple tries to hit the note. I know where I'm supposed to come in. It's what I'm supposed to come in on, you know, and that's the same thing in my personal life. And Pastor Terry can tell you that this is the truth. I love to have people over until I'm having people over. I get so nervous and crazy about the speck of dust in the corner of the kitchen, on the floor, under the cabinet where no one will look. My house is a mess. I just can't do this. I burnt this. I didn't have enough that. I go crazy. And over and over and over, this man will say to me, they're coming to see you, not the house. Why do you have to clean the bedroom? They're not going to go upstairs and lay on our bed. And I feel like I'm not alone in this. Anybody else fret and bother about all kinds of things that maybe are not the thing? You got a confession to make? You got a two-handed confession there. Yeah. We do this. Every one of us, in one respect or another, does this. And that makes us like Martha. Like, I want us to think about this story. What do you know about this story in the first place? We tend to choose a sister. I'm like Martha. I'm the doer. I'll get the dishes done. Anytime we're serving anything in the kitchen, there are several people who are in the kitchen. They won't invite people to come eat. They never offer a prayer. They'll hold 90 people waiting for me to come downstairs because they won't say, the food is ready. But you could eat off every single dish in the kitchen downstairs. And there are people who know if you place a fork wrong in the drawer, because, and I'm not talking about being picky, I'm talking about being so precise in the care of the things so that it flows easily and readily for the next time and the next people. It's a form of hospitality. Literally, frankly, honestly, I don't have it. There are dirty spoons on my desk in the office right now. And they'll probably stay there until I have 7 or 8. And I'll have to soak them in a coffee cup that's also brown inside. And I'll finally clean them, and then somebody will come behind me and re-clean it because it's not clean enough. And that's a particular gift of hospitality that I feel like some people have. have friends who never come to my house without food. And I love it. I'll come to your house and I forget to bring the stuff I was supposed to bring you, let alone something extra, you know? It's a gift. Martha, in our story today, has the gift. Jesus has been doing ministry with his disciples. He sent out the 70. They've come back in. They're on a high because they were able to expel spirits. This is rocking. It's completely rocking. It's good stuff. And Martha sees them coming and lays us bread. She has the gift of hospitality. And if you pay attention to those fruits of the Spirit we're talking about this summer, so many of them fall in there. Kindness, generosity, love. She makes a space for Jesus and his disciples and is focusing on serving them well. She's washing the dishes and knows where to put the forks. Mary is doing something else. Mary sees Jesus come in and sit down and doesn't want to miss a word that he says. And how many of us are like that? Is anyone in here like that? No. Who said no? Oh, Noah. Yeah, no. You said Noah, not no. No, Noah is like that. Noah never misses a Bible study. Yeah. And Jesus, he doesn't really disparage Martha, although he lifts up what Mary's doing. We know hospitality is important, and Luke's gospel is filled with stories of hospitality. It's not that Martha's doing anything wrong. And Jesus doesn't say, let the dirty dishes go. They're not important. Instead, he reminds her that she's distracted. She's distracted. And that brings me back to my own anxiety. You know, like all that gonna barf when I have a big worship to lead. Incidentally, I also barf on Easter mornings. Christmas and Easter, I have a very hard time with, there's gonna be visitors. What am I gonna say? What if I go down to read the gospel and fall on my face? There's distraction. And if I hang on to that anxiety, I'd be hanging in the choir room and you wouldn't have a worship leader. And if we hang on to our anxiety, are we worried about that noise? Are you distracted? If we hang on to our anxiety, then we never create the relationship. And so, like in terms of my own issue, I have to remember that while I have a lot of moving parts to manage, I'm here to worship God. And that's the thing. You know, and like when we're downstairs and we're doing all the kitchen work to welcome somebody for, let's say, the food pantry, for example. If we stay with our back to the group, with our face in the sink, we're doing the work of the Lord, but we're missing the relationships of the people who are at the table, eating the food and laughing, conversing, sharing their lives with us. What Jesus says to Martha, Mary's not even really a character. She's just sort of pointed at. What Jesus says to Martha is, don't be distracted. You need one thing, and it's the Lord. So it's not really about who we identify with, whether we feel like we're more Martha or we're more Mary. Because actually, we're equally both. We both need the Lord, and we both have things we have to do, stuff to take care of. Both equally important parts of ministry. But in that moment, Jesus says, I am sitting here. Don't miss it. And I feel like he says to us in every time we gather and in every time I have this high anxiety, whether it's about doing my job here at the church or having people at my house or attending something that I might be a little uncomfortable attending, I can't miss what's most important. And what's most important is always the people, always the relationship, always the community, always the ways that we can connect and work together and be together and forgive. Do you know who's caught up in all the details of our salvation? We are. Theologians, priests, Bible studiers, cousins and friends and siblings across Thanksgiving tables have argued for years, thousands of them, over who is saved and who is not saved and what it means to be saved, and if you believe strongly enough versus you who don't believe strongly enough. You know who's not worried? Is God. Emmanuel means God with us. And that is the best part. That is the part Jesus is talking about with Mary. Don't let the things that make us worry and distract us take us away from the fact that the Lord is with us. The Lord is with us in worship. The Lord is with us in our ministries. The Lord is with you when you leave here and gather with others. Don't miss what Jesus says to Martha is the better part. Because just like for Mary, it won't be taken away. Jesus is not going to walk away. Don't miss what's in front of you. Don't miss the love, the peace, the grace, and the hope and the joy, even in times of struggle and toil. Our distractions are just distractions. What Mary's clinging to is the gift to each of us. Thanks be to God. Now we're going to sing together hymn number 770, and I want to remind you to sing the refrain.